The Polk Museum of Art is home to many pieces of art and now features a one-of-a-kind art collection that will not be seen anywhere else in the world. We spoke to Dr. H. Alexander Rich, the Executive Director and Chief Curator at the Polk Museum of Art, about this unique exhibit.
The Polk Museum of Art has been a museum for all of Polk County and for the Central Florida area since 1966. The present building we're standing in was constructed in 1988, so it's just over 30 years old, and it has been a great resource for our community for decades and decades now to represent wonderful art experiences, world-class artists, events, educational programming, and we really do believe it is the heart of the Central Florida community in terms of the fine art world. Well, in June of 2017, we affiliated the museum with Florida Southern College to become the Polk Museum of Art at Florida Southern College. So while we are catering certainly to the college and to college students, we're also an academic museum for the whole community. And it really does seem that members of the community appreciate that. So for instance, we just opened up an exhibition called Music and Dance in Painting of the Dutch Golden Age. It is easily the biggest show we've ever done at the Polk Museum, and it features 27 old master paintings from The Hague. And it was arranged by the Hoeksteder and Hoeksteder Gallery and the Hoeksteder Museum Foundation, and it is an exclusive exhibition just for us, for the museum itself, centered around the themes of music and dance in paintings coming from the 17th century. Every work in the show comes from a private collection as well. So this is the one and only opportunity for visitors to the museum to see these works, because right after this show closes in May, they'll go right back into people's houses, rather incredibly. What's really exciting is that these are not just works that you can't see anywhere else, and that if you don't see them here when you come exclusively to our exhibition, you won't see them again, but also the themes of the paintings are really powerful. I think they relate well to our day and age in that back in the 17th century, music and dance were a huge part of everyday Netherlandish life. And if we think about our lives today in the 21st century, music and dance, and even more music than dance, are central parts of our lives today. We can experience music anytime we want, but the musical experience and the dancing experience of 400 years ago was so different from our own, but yet there are similarities. It was an immersive part of our lives. So I think people will see how the world was different back then through these paintings, but also hopefully reflect on their own lives today. They're also incredibly beautiful paintings. They range in scale from very large to rather small, and they're painted so exquisitely that you can't even detect a single brushstroke on most of them. So these are old master academic style, and that will be in stark contrast to a lot of the styles that most visitors to the museum may be familiar with from contemporary art collections today. So these are true master works. A lot of visitors will not know many of the artists on display in music and dance, but that's part of what we offer with a museum like this. There will be new discoveries along the way for artists that you've not heard of, but maybe will become a new favorite artist. So when you walk into the exhibition, there is a painting that is immediately to your right, and it's a painting of a violinist, and it's just a beautiful, simple portrait of a young man and musician doing what he loves. And there's nothing else in the entire painting except for him playing his instrument. The museum is always free. Our admission is underwritten by generous strategic partners. That means that you do not have to pay a dime to come to the museum. We would never want there to be any obstacles to anyone wanting to enjoy works of art. We like to think of the museum as kind of being the equivalent of a library. Everyone should have the ability to read a book. We want visual literacy to be a part of everybody's everyday lives. So come to the museum, enjoy it. We love donations, of course, to help support us as we are a nonprofit, but there is no fee put in the way of enjoying wonderful exhibitions like music and dance and painting of the Dutch Golden Age.